Hello, welcome back to TryHard Reading Corner. Number 4. I love this. It's probably my favorite part of the day because I feel like I'm talking to my peoples and I miss my peoples. I hope everyone's doing well. I am wearing this sweater and I love it so much. It feels like it's a clothes excuse to be the equivalent of a blanket. It's amazing. And also, like, look at these sleeves. I'm convinced that I could probably fit a watermelon in here, but sadly I do not have the resources to try my theory out. But you just have to believe me because I think that it is possible. But this is an amazing sweater, so I'm wearing it. Yeah, so, hello. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I am wearing, look at my socks. Can you see? I'm wearing llama socks because I just keep thinking about how awesome it would be to have a pet right now. So if you have a pet, give him an extra hug today because I'm jealous of you. I just think Miss Johnson is used to a little bit of chaos in her life and like herding things and counting things and making sure things are fed. And I think I miss you. And I think I miss taking care of my students back at good old Cathedral, and I want to take care of something. And I was like, well, maybe I could get a plant. And I'm like, Miss Johnson, you kill plants. You guys can attest to it. And then I'm like, okay, a rock. I'm like, okay, that's sad. Like, you can't have a pet rock. Not yet. We haven't gotten to that point yet. But, like, yeah, if somebody could drop off a box of, like, 5 puppies, I think I would be good. Like, we'd have little puppy class, and I would try to teach them things, and it would be a mess, but it would be my mess, and it would be amazing. And so I kept thinking about pets and how much I wish I had one right now because it's free, cute, lovable entertainment. And it made me remember this really funny time at my Catholic school, so I thought I'd share it with you for your entertainment. So, when I was in 1st and 2nd grade, I actually lived in York, Nebraska. And I went to St. Joseph's School. Shout out. And it was a very, very small school. Like, I think my class had like 11 kids, and like we were the big class. Like if your class hit double digits, that was impressive. And there wasn't like 2 sections. There wasn't a 2A, 2B. It was just like 2nd grade. 7th grade, kindergarten. It was very tiny, but it was really nice. And at Catholic Schools Week, I think just because of the sheer small amount of students, that they were able to go a little crazier than most Catholic schools. And so one of the perks that they had, I literally, when I heard about it, my eyes almost fell out of my head, is one of the days at Catholic Schools Week was Pet Day. And not just like, bring a picture of your cat. Like, bring your pet to school. I know. And so, at that point, when I was in 1st grade, my mom just had my oldest younger brother, just me and my little brother. And he was a cute little baby. And obviously, at that point, my brother and I were enough animal-like to warrant us not needing a pet right now. It was crazy. We were crazy. And so when this whole pet day came around, little 1st grade Miss Johnson went home, and I was just, it's not fair. Like, I need a pet to bring to school, and if I don't have a pet and everybody else has a pet, then I'm the only one who doesn't have a pet. And little 1st grade brain, where it's the end of the world if you can't partake in one silly little thing. And so I'm really upset, and I don't know what to do, and I don't want to be left out. And my dad really felt for me. God bless you. I love you. He really felt for me, and he's like, I'll think of something. Like, let me figure it out. Like, we're not getting a pet, okay? But maybe I know somebody who can let us borrow something for the day, okay? Now, Miss Johnson, now there's a good ounce of like crazy. Little Miss Johnson was off the walls. So giving me a big animal for me to control as like a 7-year-old would probably not be smart. And so my 1st grade year, my dad's office had a little like office fish, and he's like, she can't kill it, so I'm gonna get rid of the fish. So it was a little beta fish. Can't remember its name, but it sufficed. It was great. I had a pet. First year went smoothly. It was good. Second year rolls around, second grade, and pet day's coming up. And so sassy little Miss Johnson, I was like, I don't have a pet, and everybody's gonna have a pet, and I'm gonna be the only one who doesn't have a pet, and it's the worst day of my life, and I really need a pet. And so I honestly can't remember if like the fish died during this year time span, or if I was just being a little stink, and I'm like, no, like I can't do 2 years in a row with a fish. I don't know. I'm very difficult, but I feel like my parents would make me just suck it up and take a fish if it was an option. But either way, something happened where either I didn't want the fish or the fish was no longer a choice, but I was freaking out because like it was a time crunch. I don't know what we're going to do. And for my dad's job, he works with farmers a lot. And so it was the night before pet day, and my mom, my dad, we had no clue what I'm going to bring. We had no idea. So finally, my dad was making all these calls, and he's like, okay, listen, like, I'm going to visit some farmers tomorrow. I have a couple of them are really good friends with me. I'm sure I will think of something, and I will bring your pet to school, okay? Like, okay, cool. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, I'm going to get a cute little barn kitten. I'm going to get a little puppy. Like, it's going to be great, and it's going to be bigger than the fish. Like, there's not a fish farm around. So I was very excited. So this doesn't feel real. It's amazing. So, second grade, little Miss Johnson, it's like bring your pet time. It's like a certain part of the day where you could bring it. And so I'm waiting, and I see my dad's pickup roll by, and I'm just like, yes, I have an animal. I included. And he comes, and he has this huge box, okay? Like, obnoxiously big box. And I was just like, what? I, like, could not think of any animal in that box. Like, my little brain just, like, farted in that moment, and I was just like, what could it be? It was amazing. And all my friends were like, what did little Miss Johnson bring? And it was great. I love the attention. And so, he pulls the box down, and my dad brought me a baby goat. Yeah. And honestly, I think half the parents were like, what? With their dogs and their cats and like guinea pigs. And God love my dad, but like it wasn't like the goat had a leash. The goat had a box. And so naturally, me wanting everybody to see my goat, like I'm like, oh, we should take him out, and yeah. And so my dad took it out. It was so cute, and it's probably like my spirit animal of a pet, random little goat. But I do remember it was spotty, honestly, because I think I like blacked out a little bit because I was so overcome with pure joy that I do remember frolicking in like the soccer field / a pack of second graders chasing this baby goat. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how this was allowed, but it is easily one of my most cherished memories of Catholic Schools Week is when I brought in my pet goat. Okay? But yeah, Dad made my life second grade. He just couldn't top it. It was amazing. But yeah, honestly, what I wouldn't give for a goat or something, put a little hat on it, teach it how to dance, I don't know, something. I miss you guys too much, I think. But yeah, so I don't know if you're feeling the urge of like, wow, I wish I had 10 puppies with me. That's what I'm feeling. Maybe it's not a common feeling, but that's how it's going for me. We have a guest at the TryHard Reading Corner. I call her Hippy Dippy Cow. She has flower power. And she's very cute and gives a very peaceful presence to the corner because I feel like Judge Bug needs to tone it down a little bit. So, welcome, Hippy Dippy Cow. Today, we are reading a children's book. We're pausing from my favorite books. And I found this book, and it's called On Beyond Zebra by Dr. Seuss. Has anyone heard of this? Like, I have not heard... I didn't know this was a Dr. Seuss book. Like, I didn't know this was even an option for Dr. Seuss. And I feel like there's a lot of, like, secret Dr. Seuss books we just never have experienced. And not gonna lie, when I went to the library, like, everything that you know and love was overpicked. And so I saw the name and I said, we're going to go with it. And honestly, it's like a mystery book. So I'm very excited. Again, don't freak out. With a children's book, I promise you I will read and then I will show. Okay? But we are going to get started. I have never read this. I am very excited. I also chose it because the zebra kind of reminded me of Hippy Dippy Cow. And I'm talking about my want for pets and animals. So we're like having a exotic pet theme. I don't know. But yeah, so we're going to see what happens. I really have never read this book. On Beyond Zebra by Dr. Seuss. Let's do this. Said Conrad Cornelius O'Donnell Odell, my very young friend who is learning to spell. A is for ape, and B is for bear, and C is for camel, and H is for hare, and M is for mouse, and the R is for rat. I know all the 26 letters like that. Look at him practicing his letters, just like you should be. Perfect. I wonder if I'm going to get tongue-tied in this. Through to Z is for zebra. I know them all well, said Conrad Cornelius O'Donnell Odell. So now I know everything anyone knows, from the beginning to end, from the start to the close, because Z is as far as the alphabet goes. He's a smart little cookie, look at him. And he knows it. Then he almost fell flat on his face on the floor when I picked up the chalk and I drew one letter more, a letter he never had dreamed of before. And I said, you can stop if you want with the Z, because most people stop with the Z, but not me. In the places I go, there are things that I see that I never could spell if I stopped with a Z. I'm telling you this because you're one of my friends. My alphabet starts where your alphabet ends. What the heck? Look at that letter. What is going on? I definitely feel like this is a tongue-tying Dr. Seuss book. I'm scared. Oh my goodness. My alphabet starts with this letter called Yuz. It's the letter I use to spell Yuzamuztuz. You'll be sort of surprised what there is to be found once you go beyond Z and start poking around. Look at a Yuzamuztuz. Look at that guy. I love his hair. Wow. Oh my goodness. So on beyond zebra, explore like Columbus, discover new letters like wum for a wumbus. My high-spouting whale who lives high on a hill. Wait, a whale is on a hill? And who never comes down till it's time to refill. So on beyond Z, it's high time you were shown that you really don't know all there is to be known. Ooh, look at that guy. Oh my goodness. Then just step a step further past wum is for wumbus, and there you'll find and the is for umbus, a sort of a cow with one head and one tail. But to milk this great cow, you need more than a pail. She has 98 faucets that give milk quite nicely. Perhaps 99, I forgot just precisely. And boy, is she something most people don't see, because most people stop at the Z, but not me. Oh my word. Look at this cow. It's like a centipede cow. Look at it. It goes all the way back. Who thinks of this? Dr. Seuss? I am curious. Oh my word. I ramble, I scramble through swamp and through swamp, where the letters get better, like letters like humph. There's a real handy letter. What's handy about it? You can't spell humph, humph, a dumper without it. Humph, humph, a dumper. Yeah, this is a word. This is crazy. He's kind of in that swamp. He's in blue. Do you see him? Wow. If you stay home with zebra, you're stuck in a rut. But on beyond zebra, you're anything but. Why, I know a fine fancy letter called fuddle. I use it to spell Miss Fuddle-de-Duddle. And oh, what a bird of a bird of a bird of. Her tail is the longest that's ever been heard of. So long and so fancy, she'd be in a fix if she didn't have helpers. It'd take about 6 to tag along hoisting Miss Fuddle-de-Duddle's wonderful tail out of muddle-de-puddles. Oh my goodness, look at that tail. And glink is for glinker, who lives in wild weeds and spends his time juggling fresh cinnamon seeds, which he's usually able to find in great number, expecting, of course, in the month of September. When cinnamon seeds aren't around in great number, that is the month that he juggles with seeds of cucumbers. Oh, he's so little. He's a little blue guy. Aww. And na is the letter I use to spell nutches, who live in small caves known as niches for hutches. These nutches have troubles, the biggest of which is the fact that there are many more nutches than niches. Each nutch in a niche knows that some other nutch would like to move into his niche very much. Oh my goodness, in my head. So each nutch in a niche has to watch that small niche or nutches who haven't got niches will snitch. Wow, that was a lot. Look at that. It's like a little hotel. Wow. Oh. Then we go on to snee, and the snee is for sneedle, a terrible kind of ferocious mosquito whose humdinger sting is sharp as a needle. The sneedle's too tough to be killed with a smack, so he has to be hunted on elephant back. And your eyes on the elephants have to be keen, and you have to aim fast, and you have to hit clean. And the bullet you shoot is a stale navy bean that you've dumped for 3 weeks in old sour kerosene, which is awfully hard work. So it's easy to see why most people stop at the Z, but not me. It's like a horrible mosquito. Oh my word. When you go beyond zebra, who knows? There's no telling what wonderful things you might find yourself spelling. Like quan is for quandary, who lives on a shelf in a hole in the ocean alone by himself, and he worries each day from the dawn early night, and he worries far into the night. He just stands there and worries. He simply can't stop. Is his top side his bottom, or bottom side top? Oh, look, he's that tiny red dot. Do you see him? There are a lot of letters. Is there like 26 of these? How does Dr. Seuss have all this in his brain? And thnad is for thnatters, and oh, are they sad? Oh, the big one, you see, has the smaller one's shadow. The shadow is small. The shadow the small thnatter had should be his. I don't understand, but that's just how it is. A terrible mix-up in shadows. Gee whiz. Look at these birds whining about their shadows. And spaz is a letter I use to spell spasm, a beast who belongs in the nasum of basm, handy for traveling. That's why he has him. More easy to pack than a suitcase or grip. Those horns carry all that he needs on a trip. A thread and a needle for mending his socks, and his toothbrush, a cup, and 300 clocks, and his velvet umbrella, and his vegetable chopper, and also his gold-plated popping corn popper, and a grasshopper cage for his favorite grasshopper. Oi, look at this guy. Look at all the stuff he's carrying with his antlers. Oh my word. And floob is for floob, boober, bab, boober, bums. What? Floob, boober, bab, boober, bums, who bounce in the water like blueberry tubs. Or they're no good to eat. You can't cook them like steaks, but they're handy in crossing small oceans and lakes. Floob, boober, bab, boober, bums. I feel like I'm saying this wrong. Look at them. They're like little bobs in the water when you're fishing. Wow. And Zats is the letter I use to spell Zatsit, whose nose is so high that most nobody pats it. And patting his lonely old nose is the least that a fellow could do for this fine, friendly beast. So to get there and do it, I built an invention, the three-seater Zatsit nose padding extension. If you try to drive one, you'll certainly see why most people stop at the Z, but not me. He looks like a furry zebra with like crazy long legs. Look at that. Oh my word, all these animal things. And jog is my letter for spelling jog-ons, who doodle around in the far desert dunes. Jog-oons, who doodle around in the far desert dunes, just doodle around, crooning very small, very sad tunes about peppermint peanuts and pebbles and prunes and paint pots and polka dots, pine heads and pigs, and their grandmother's grandfather's stepsister's wigs. Wow. So you see, there's no end to the things you might know, depending how far beyond zebra you go. Look at these guys' little hair. They are so cute. This is a big children's book. I have a letter called Flun, and the Flun is for Flunnel, a softish, nice fellow who hides in a tunnel. He only comes out of his hole, I'm afraid, when the right kind of softish, nice music is played on a kind of a hunting horn called an grunt. And to learn how to play it, it takes month after month of practicing. It isn't much funneth, and besides, it's quite heavy, weighs almost a tonneth. That's why few people bother to play the old grunteth, so the funnel's been out of his tunnel just oneth. And way, way past Z is a letter called Itch, and the itch is for itchopods, animals which race around back and forth and back through the air on a very high sidewalk between here and there. They're afraid to stay there, they're afraid to stay here. They think there is too far, they think here is too near. And since here is too near and out there is too far, they are too scared to roost wheresoever they are. This is my brain workout for the day, people. There's a letter called Yeek, and the Yeek is for Yeko, who howls in an underground grotto in Gecko. These Yekos love echoes, and this is their motto. For his best Yeko echoes, try Geckos our grotto. All the things you will find if you don't stay behind. On a world near the sun lives two brothers called Rooms, who strangely enough are built sort of like brooms. And they're stuck all alone up high in the blue, and so to kill time, just for something to do, each one of those fellows takes turns with the other on sweeping the dust off his world with his brother. Oh wow, they're like little broom dudes. And Hi is my letter for Hi Gargalorum, for getting me places real fast. I'm all for 'em. They puffle along and their brakes never squeak. And they run every hour, every day, every week. From the town of North Nub to the town of East Ounce, making stops at West Bunglefield, Yupster and Jounce, and at Ipster and Nipster, and also South Bounce, and another small town that's just too hard to pronounce. Are there like 26 made-up letters? I feel like I keep turning and there's more pages. The places I told him I tried hard to tell young Conrad, Cornelius, O'Donnell, Odell, a few brand new wonderful words he might spell. I led him around and I tried hard to show there are things beyond Z that most people don't know. I took him past zebra as far as I could, and I think perhaps, maybe I did him some good. Oh, he's helping his pal. Because finally he said, this is really great stuff, and I guess that old alphabet just isn't enough. Now the letters he uses are something to see. Most people still stop at Z, but not he. Look at all these weird letters he's doing. Wow, that was a doozy. That was literally a brain workout. Look at all the letters. These are the made up letters Dr. Seuss made. There's a lot, but very impressive. That was entertaining. I love Dr. Seuss. He makes up the weirdest things. But yeah, I hope you are enjoying your time with your family, working hard. I've seen a lot of you guys working real hard. I love it. And if you have a pet, give him an extra hug today from Miss Johnson, because I am very jealous of you. Right now I just have Judge Pug and Hippy Dippy Cow, and that's all I need. But Stay positive. Have fun. I miss you. I love you. I'm praying for you. Hope you're doing well. Boop, boop, boop.